Into the Mirror. This actually reminds me a shit ton of the film Mirrors, which I have a strong feeling that is what the remake is about. The American version, sorry. American version, I think that Mirrors is a remake of this, an American remake of this. I could be completely wrong, but I have that idea. That's just what I think. This, again, is another really well-made horror film. Didn't scare me pretty much at all, but I think it was a revenge film, and it has a really, really good story to it, so I highly recommend you pick it up. I know I said, again, if you guys didn't really hear me mumbling earlier, not going to go into full reviews or thoughts on them, because, I mean, like, my thoughts briefly, but I'm just going to be showing you what I got. I won't go into, like, full things about the story and that, because I'll be here for a while, and if you want to know some more about the story, then I'll do my thoughts on it later. The Red Shoes. Now, this one, the first time I watched it, I didn't really get. You're probably thinking, like, if you've seen this, you're probably thinking, what didn't you get about it? When I say I didn't get it, I just didn't really watch it properly, I guess, which was probably my problem. The second time I watched it, I kind of liked it, and then the third time I watched it, like really properly, because the second time I was with my girlfriend and we were talking quite a bit, so again I was distracted. And then I watched this third time on my own, and it was pretty good. It wasn't great, it wasn't like, fucking incredible, but it was pretty good, and it's one that's staying in my collection for that. As I said, I have got rid of ones that I consider shit, basically. Now, this is a series that it kind of actually goes in order, which is quite funny, right? Ghost School Quartet or The Wishing Stairs quadrilogy. There's actually a fifth one, I think, called Blood Pact, I think. I don't know if that's been released in the UK yet, but I know that has been released in Japan. I'm not sure about America, but yeah, Blood Purge. I'm not sure if that Blood Purge, Blood Pact, I think something like that. But I think that's anyway. This is, I'll get onto that later. This is Whispering Corridors quadrilogy, and it kind of goes. The first one scared me a little bit. Second one didn't. Third one really fucking scared me. It was demented as fuck. And the fourth one wasn't really scary. It was actually very emotional. I think that's kind of how they went for, because the first one was scary, second one was quite emotional, third one was fucking scary, and the fourth one was quite emotional regardless of the concept. I actually picked this up incredibly cheap. I got it brand new for about £9, and it went up dramatically since then. Not to like hundreds of pounds or anything, but it went up quite a bit since then. It did take a long time to get it though. I actually forgot I had ordered it, and then it came in the post one day. I think it was like a month after I ordered it, and I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, no, all four films are really good, and my girlfriend couldn't actually get through the third one because it scared her too much, which is Wishing Stairs, if you're wondering. Right, this one isn't really, in my opinion, really a horror film. This is fucking just hilarious. Well, it is a horror film. It is, the concept of it is horror, but it wasn't scary. It was fucking funny. It's hair extensions. Now, as I said a minute ago, before you say it is a horror film, yes, it is horror, but in my opinion, it didn't scare me. It was more like it was a horror film well, it's classed as a horror, but it wasn't scary whatsoever. It was just really strange. It was demented as well. It was really strange and demented, but it wasn't really scary. It was that some parts were fucking hilarious. Some parts honestly made me giggle, which I don't think that's what they were going for. But anyway, if you want to just sort of like, I don't know, a cheesy J horror, I guess, then pick this one up. I mean, some people may not consider this cheesy. I thought it was a little bit cheesy, but yeah, pick it up anyway. Right. Coma. I honestly don't remember a fucking thing about this film because I've only seen it once. All I remember was actually being quite impressed by the film. That's all I remember is actually enjoying it, which I guess is a good start. So yeah, I remember enjoying this film, but I don't really remember much about it. It's like, because I've only seen it once, and that was ages ago. The Doll Master. This film, I thought was actually going to be the one that would scare the shit out of me more than The Grudge, but it actually didn't. It had a really, really good story. And it had really good actors and actresses, and just the concept was fairly basic, but it was actually quite creative at the same time. I really, really did enjoy this film, and it didn't scare me to the amount of it didn't scare me as much as I thought. It did creep me out a bit, but it was still pretty damn good. And honestly, I didn't really find many faults with this film. Some effects are a bit weird, but I don't really care because it was just really well made. And the same with, I don't really, if the film's good, much like games, if the game's good, I'll play it, regardless of graphics. Same with films, even if it has cheesy special effects. If the film's good, I'll still watch it. Okay, here's a good one. Dark Water. This is a very, very well made film. It was remade in America. I have seen the American version. I didn't like it again. This is if you plan on getting a version of Dark Water, get this one because this is the one I recommend. It is a very, very well made film, and it has a pretty damn good story as well. And it is emotionally driven as well as being incredibly creepy and scary. And this did scare me quite a bit as well. So pick it up definitely. Okay, these are two. There's a third one, but I don't own it yet. So you know, the I1 and the I2. Now let's start with the first one. The first one I was actually a very, very good concept, and I really did enjoy it. And it was quite scary. It didn't, as I said, fully scare me like most things, but it did. It did at some times scare me, and the concept of it concept of it scared me a little bit, and it was just quite creepy, and it was just very well made. I just really, really enjoyed it. The second one did fucking scare me. The second one was creepy as shit and weird as fuck. Honestly, it was so just weird. Really fucking weird. And yeah, it was a good film. I still really enjoyed it, but Jesus Christ. Apartment 1303. I believe this has also been remade. And yes, it has. It's been remade in the American as an American version. This film was very basic, actually. It didn't really scare me much. It had its moments, but it was a really basic film, to be honest. It had a very basic concept to it. Still quite good, though. As I said, I would still recommend it if you want to, if you want to start off your collection, because when you start a collection, sometimes you like starting at the bottom and start making your way to the top. So if you want to start sort of in the middle, I guess, or just below, then pick this one up, and it will start getting you into the sort of thing. Unless you want to start with a really, really good film, in that case, get The Grudge, or as I said, get Premonition, or any of the Whispering Corridors films, that sort of thing. Okay, this one confused me when I first watched it. A Tale of Two Sisters. When I first watched it, I did actually watch it properly, but I must not have been in the right mood because I didn't really understand it. And then I watched it again, and I understood the whole thing, and it was absolutely incredible. It was twists, turns, horror, creepiness, fucked up things, and just emotion. It was incredible. This is pretty much. It didn't really scare me a huge amount, but but in my opinion, it was pretty scary, and it was pretty well made as well. So pick it up. I hope that is classed as a horror film because I think it is. Our point. This is another one that has a twist ending, but it's actually quite a twist ending that didn't really, not really a lot of thought would have gone into really. But it was pretty damn good. And do I keep saying Japanese horror or Asian horror? If I've for the past ages kept saying Japanese horror, sorry, I say that automatically. Although not all of them are. Some of them are Korean and that, but. Yeah, so if I have just been saying Japanese horror, then sorry, they're Asian horror. Yeah, this is, I don't really know what to class this under. It's just, it's one of those sort of, I would say, hallucinating horror films, if you know what I mean. Ones where most of the characters are sort of seeing shit, hearing shit, and weird shit's going down, basically, that sort of thing. Cursed. This is actually quite a cheesy film, in my opinion. I just looked at the back cover. That's fucking hilarious. It's not exactly creepy. It's actually quite cheesily made, and the effects are quite low. But it's still quite interesting to watch because I don't know. There's just something about this film that I just love. I just couldn't stop watching it. So pick it up anyway, even if it is fairly cheesy. Pick it up because it's actually not that bad. It's not horrendous. So okay, this is another series that's been again remade in America and is incredibly famous to people that are into films quite a lot, and that's the One Missed Call films. I think there's a third one. I'm not sure, but either way, I only have 1 and 2. I liked both of them equally. Actually, I didn't have anything against either of them. I thought both of them were very, very well made, and it was quite an interesting concept. I actually rather enjoyed the concept of these films. So, if you guys are into sort of Your Death Is Coming sort of Japanese horror films or Asian horror films, sorry I said it. I think that is Japanese though. Then pick them up. Okay, final one. It's the last one I own, and this one nearly done this. Excuse me, I have a bit of a cold that's still leaving. Now this one actually was pretty much on par when it came to scaring me with like as on par with The Grudge. This film really did scare me because as much as I'm afraid of ghost films, films about not all ghost films because like Paranormal Activity didn't scare me whatsoever, but well-made ones like The Grudge and that, they hit me because they're something that I would hate to encounter, that sort of entity, like a really pissed off one. This film, now I have another thing where if you take a picture and you see something in a picture like a ghost or something, that also scares me. That sort of thing creeps me out because when you see it, it's like fuck, because if you've taken it yourself and you see something that wasn't there, the photo doesn't fucking lie, does it? Unless it was really weird matrixing. So yeah, if you guys don't even know, when I just spoke about photography and pictures, Shutter. Now again, this was remade in America, but I don't recommend the American version because it wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. This is incredible. Now this takes this this is obviously on a more of a personal note of why I like it so much is obviously because I find it incredibly, well, see what it says there, unsettling. Yeah, because of the picture thing. But it was, aside from the fact that it's a personal fear of mine, I actually find this incredibly well made. The effects, the acting is amazing, and just everything about it is very well done. It's very well paced as well. It's not like, oh look, there's a ghost, scared, jump scare, oh my god, what the fuck's that? Ah! It's not like that. It's sort of just really well paced, and the tension keeps building until something happens or doesn't happen. And that is a really well made film. The only other one that I remember, there's another one. In fact, there's actually a lot of films like that I own, but the other one is Woman in Black. That was incredible. That had that pacing as well. And this has an incredible pacing, so I highly recommend you pick this up if you want to start your Asian collection. Basically, your Asian movie collection, horror movie collection. Even if it's just normal movies. I have plenty of films. In fact, I think nearly half my library of films aren't actually English. I think they're either like Asian or foreign of some description, because, I don't know. Like The Raid, that's a fucking good film. But anyway, I'll get into that another time. So we've gone into 24 minutes, so this is going to be split up into 2 parts now. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if I did through the video say Japanese horror, although they weren't, then I'm sorry, it's just habit. I say that quite a lot. So they're all my Asian horror movies that I own currently. Movies from Asia, whatever you want to put it as. I don't want to sound like I'm just, being weird, but they're the ones I own at the moment, and when I get paid soon, excuse me, that is gross. The next time I have some money to, free money, because I do like saving money as well, hence why I'm not really getting anything else at the moment, I will get some more Asian horror films, and I'll keep you updated. So every time, say I buy 3 or 4 new horror films to add to my Asian horror film collection, I will show you guys an update in a vlog. So it'll be like games and films I bought recently, blah blah blah. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I shall see you in my other videos. Bye.